In the last lecture, we have discussed about the power of lens. And what was the power of lens? The ability of lens to converge or diverge the rays. And all these phenomena are depending on the refraction of light. Now let us discuss about the refraction of light in a glass slab, because the refraction in a prism is related to somewhat extent to glass slab. So first I will tell you the refraction through the glass slab. Refraction through a rectangular glass slab in parallel. You can note down rectangular glass slab. First of all, draw the boundary of the glass slab, the rectangular glass slab. Here at any point draw the normal that is perpendicular to the surface and denoted by n or n dash. Then draw the incident light which is falling to the slab at this point O. This AB is the incident light which is incidenting at point O, making an angle I. Here the angle I is equal to the angle of incidence. Then this medium is rarer medium because this is air and the slab is of glass, so this will act as a denser medium. And you know, students, when the ray is moving from rarer to denser, it will move towards the normal. So the ray will shift towards the normal and you will draw it like this, because actually it was going like this. It should go like this, but it bends towards the normal. So now this is O2, this point suppose is O dash. So this ray is now known as refracted ray. This is refracted ray, and this ray is making an angle R with the normal. So this angle R is equal to the angle of refraction. And now at the point on the second surface where it touches the glass slab, draw another perpendicular here. Suppose this is M dash, and this angle is R dash. This angle R is equal to R dash. Why this is so? This N dash and M dash are two perpendicular. They are parallel to each other, and this ray is intersecting these two parallel lines. So R is equal to R dash. Here the ray will travel from glass to air. It means the ray is moving from denser to rarer medium. I have told you A is here. A is standing for the away. So the ray traveling from denser to rarer medium will move away from the normal. So this ray should travel like this. It should travel like this, but it will move away from the normal, and you will see the ray is moving like this. And this ray is the emergent ray. This ray is given the name emergent ray. Emergent ray. And this angle made by this emergent ray with the normal is denoted by E. So angle E is equal to the angle of emergence. This angle of emergence, and this is known as the lateral shift. Lateral shift of ray from the incident ray. and by the calculation it is found that this lateral shift is equal to the thickness of glass slab. Thickness of glass slab. For this is also an experimental activity in your syllabus. First of all, everything should be clear to you. Let me brief once again. This ray is the incident ray making an angle I, the angle of incidence with the normal. Then it is refracted and bent towards the normal, making the angle of refraction R, and again it strikes to the surface, second surface of the glass slab. Both surfaces are parallel to each other. The refraction which is caused at first surface is adjusted by the second surface and the ray becomes parallel to the incident ray. Here it emits from the second surface, so this ray is known as the emergence ray, or angle is known as the angle of emergence. Suppose I give you the activity to perform in the lab. What you have to do? First of all, you will mark the incident ray. For the incident ray, you will mark two pins, pin 1 and pin 2. You will mark here at a distance of 3 finger distance with each other, and these two pins, all pins you can say, are observed from this side of the glass slab, and you will observe the point. You will see here that these two pins overlap each other. Suppose this is the first pin and this is the second pin, and they should overlap each other. You should observe only one pin instead of two. This is the condition. And when you find the place, try to keep here next pin, pin P3. And in that situation, what you have to do, you have to make the arrangement like this. This is first pin. The second pin is overlapping the first pin. Only one pin is visible to you. And then also make the arrangement by placing the third pin, that the all two pins, initial two pins, are overlapped by the third one. Only one pin, it should appear like one pin, but it is, these are three pins. Then mark the boundary, or mark the point, or you can say insert the pin at this situation. Again insert one more pin also, and find out the place where all these pins are overlapping each other. Here this kind of situation may be there, but you have to make the arrangement that the one pin is visible to you. These are 4 pins, but one pin is visible to you. Find out the position, and at that position you will mark the pin P4. And after that, remove these 2 pins, make the circle with pencil and draw a line joining these 2 circles, and you will have the emergent ray. If your experiment is 100% correct, no error is there, then angle of incidence and angle of emergence should be equal to each other. But there may be some human error, there may be some experimental error. So in that situation, only few or half degree, 1 degree or half degree error may be there. Okay, got it? Note down, beta. Now next, the refraction of light. Refraction of light through a glass prism. Now what do you mean by a prism? You have seen prism many times. So we are talking here about the triangular prism. This triangular prism is having a rectangular base and these triangular sides. This is a 3D structure. So a triangular prism is having three rectangular base and two rectangular base and three triangular surfaces, or you can say the vertex. Three faces, this one and the back side one. The three faces are there. So the refraction of light through a glass prism, you have seen the refraction through a glass slab. Now what is the basic difference? I am drawing a triangular prism. You can draw in parallel. This is the triangular prism. Here is the angle A. This angle A is equal to the angle of prism. In most of the cases, this angle is approximate 60 degree because this is like an equilateral triangle. Similar to the glass slab, mark the normal at the prism. This is N dash, making an angle of 90 degree with this face of the prism. Then mark two pins, pin 1, P1 and P2 at a four finger distance, the incident ray. This is the incident ray and this is the angle of incidence. You can write here, angle I is equal to angle of incidence. Then what will happen? This is the denser medium and this is rarer medium. Again this side is also the rarer medium. So ray is traveling from rarer to denser medium, R, D, T. It will bend towards the normal. रे कैसे जानी चाहिए? ऐसे जानी चाहिए थी, लेकिन ये क्या हो गई? बेंड हो गई towards the normal. So this is the refracted ray. So this is, I can write it as here refracted ray. So this angle between the normal and between the refracted ray is R. So angle R is the angle of refraction. Got it? Then, where at this surface the ray is striking, draw the normal on this surface. So make the 90 degree angle at this surface. This is the 90 degree angle at this surface. So this is the normal. You can say this is M dash, the normal. Here what will happen? The ray from the denser medium will travel to the rarer medium. So it will move away from the normal. So it will move like this. So this is the emergent ray. This is emergent ray. And the angle between the normal and the emergent ray is the angle of emergence. So E is here the angle of emergence. I have told you angle A is the angle of prism. Okay? And now this emergent ray back produce the ray in this direction. You can see this was the incident ray and this is the emergent ray. The angle between the emergent ray and the incident ray is denoted by delta and is known as the angle of deviation. This is the angle of deviation. Angle of deviation means with how much angle the emergent ray is deviated from the incident ray. This is the incident ray and this is the emergent ray. So by back producing this emergent ray, we can measure the angle of deviation. This is delta, and this is known as the refraction through a glass prism. Here this angle is also known as the angle of refraction, R dash. In this case, R is not equal to R dash because there is no condition of the parallel lines and the transversal line intersecting this. So these two angles are not equal to each other. This R dash is acting as the angle of incidence for this surface. So R is not equal to R dash. And this process of traveling the rays from a prism and bending like this, here you can see that the incident ray and the emergent ray are not parallel to each other as in the case of glass slab. In the glass slab you have this kind of structure, and there the incident ray and the emergent ray were parallel to each other. Why this is so? Here is the answer, because in case of glass prism, in glass prism the two surfaces are not, two refracting surfaces are not parallel to each other. Refracting surfaces are not parallel to each other. That's why parallel to each other. That's why the emergent ray is not parallel to incident ray, because in case of glass slab the refraction produced by the first surface is compensating the refraction produced by the second surface. But like the glass slab, there is no such phenomena. The ray is bending away from the normal here, and it is not parallel to the incident ray. Okay, note down. Factors affecting the deviation of light. Factor affecting the deviation of light. On what factors does it depends? Number one, it depends on the angle of prism. It depends on the angle of prism, that is A. Angle of prism, that is angle A. Secondly, it depends on the material. It depends on the nature of material. Why it depends on the nature of material? Because all lights in air or vacuum have same speed. It depends on the nature of the material, and nature of material is directly or indirectly depending on N. What is N? That is the refractive index. Okay, and third one is it is depending on the angle of incidence. Why it is depending on the angle of incidence? If you increase the angle to a very large extent or decrease the angle to a large extent, what will happen? The TIR, total internal reflection, will take place. The ray will reflect inside the prism only. So the angle of incidence. Note down these three factors. This is all about the refraction of light through a glass prism.